שיר למעלות, אשאי להרים, מאין יבוא עזרי. עזרי מעם אדוני, עושה שמיים וארץ, אל ייתן למות רגליך, אל ינום שומריך. הנה לא ינום ולא ישן, שומר ישראל, אדוני שומריך. אדוני הצילך על יד ימינך, יומם השמש לא יכך, וירח בלילה. אדוני ישמורך מכל רע, ישמור את נפשך. אדוני ישמור את צאתך ובואך, מעתה ועד עולם.
A song of ascents. I turn my eyes to the mountains. From where will my help come? My help comes from Adonai, maker of heaven and earth. Adonai will not let your foot give way. Your guardian will not slumber. The guardian of Israel neither slumbers nor sleeps. Adonai is your protection, a guardian at your right hand. By day the sun will not strike you, nor the moon by night. Adonai will guard you from all harm and guard your life. Adonai guards your going and coming, now and forever.
The psalmist says, Adonai, Adam v'tere'ehu, v'enosh v'chashvehu, Adam lahevel dama, Yamav Ketzel over. Lord, what are mortals that you have regard for them? Mankind that you take account of it? Man is like a breath. His days are as a fleeting shadow. And the significance of this particular psalm is to give us a challenge of what do we do if we have that fleeting shadow of our existence? Who are those people upon whom we could have impact? To whom can we share healing? And how can we make differences in people's lives? So that's how we're gathered here today, to recognize how our mom, Shirley Bleiweiss, has made impact on people's lives. And even in the past couple of years, when she wasn't able to remember names, but she was able to add spunk, and she stimulated people. The concluding lines of the 23rd Psalm are, surely goodness and loving kindness shall follow me all the days of my life, and I shall dwell in the house of the Lord forever. Needless to say, I grew up with Mom at our sides at Community Temple. It then became, of course, Betham. Mom is part of B'nai Yeshurun, where I'm grateful that Rabbi Weiss and Cantor Schiffman are here to bring comfort to a community as well as that to our family. But Mom also found her space with Sandy Bleiweiss down in Florida. So it says for us to be abiding in the house of the Lord forever, that Mom would see herself as a synagogue Jew. But it says, surely goodness and loving kindness are those people who deemed it so important to adjust schedules, to make sure they were here with us, to either mourn with us or to bring comfort by your presence. So today is Tisha B'Av, the saddest day of the Jewish year, yet there's a life to celebrate and not just sadness. God has been with our family. We've been strong, despite our losses, connected to each other's lives. So we bring to this setting what that allows us to hold on to this beloved soul, to bring warmth and love and gratitude, knowing how Mom has been proud of her family and accomplishments. And I know that she felt at home in later years when an aide brought her to Robert and Gabriel Jewelers, that she could feel at home, she could watch how it had burgeoned. Mom was one of vision, of insight, art that was unmistakable, style that was affirming, appreciated finery, clothing that she wore well, furniture that she selected ahead of her time, colors that other people wouldn't have imagined would blend together, the sense of design, the art abilities in some ways that were under-tapped talent, and a funniness that came out. Some of us remember her as an absolutely great daughter with space for her parents, and she carried an image of how to give dignity to her mother, Claire of blessed memory, our Grandma Dick, when all of her abilities failed and all of her memory vanished. And Mom feared that that would be afflicting her. And she was the perfect listener when Grandpa Dick remarried, as a daughter-in-law to honor Grandma and Grandpa Botnick and our many Sundays at their home. But Mom was a mom who recognized needs of her sons, individual needs, a dog, scouting, affirmation, love, USY, college, support for our growing families and for our grown families. Bruce and Melanie, Annette and I, we've shown her love and given her love and time and sacrifice. And it's been a privilege to help her in her last years, to add to her life in earlier years, and in our own ways to add life to her life in her concluding years, to know of her love and to value it. We would want to know that in last night's reading of Eicha, as well as this morning, is a text that says, Karavta b'yom ekra'eka, amarta al tira. Said to God, you drew near on the day I called to you, and you said, do not fear. That was the prophet Jeremiah speaking to God. And those were the assurances that Mom had for Bruce and me and our families, and the levels of support that she could give. As a wife to Dad, Larry, almost 40 years, she adapted to everything in his life. In wartime, shul time, men's club, Shabbat, the store. They were a really loving couple, and she had pride in his goodness. She pretty, he handsome. And then again, she had to adapt to life after tragedy of losing Dad. We'll always be remembering Mom and Dad with Dee and Irv, and Sheila and Marty, and the times at their homes, and how they stepped in to add to her life and her healing after Dad's killing. And we can't forget their outreach to her. Shirley, Dick, Botnick, Bleiweiss, in every aspect of her life, each name meant something. In John Hay High, popular, kept friends from those days. In Cleveland as Shirley Botnick, in Florida as Shirley Bleiweiss, and each of those she had impact. And Mom also became a loving wife as a Bleiweiss, and she took on Sandy's family and concern for his daughters and their families. Mom with Sandy became my congregants as I became their rabbi. And I felt their worthy investment in the future of a synagogue with vision for preschool education. In Boynton Beach, I watched her spark and her spunk and her sarcastic wit with people who had just met her, and people flocked to her. Every weekday and Shabbat and Yom Tov, we read a line before the Shema prayer, Ahava Rabbah Ahavtanu. It is of our saying it to God, with great love have you loved us. But all the family members who were here, and others who wish that they could be here, they could feel the applicable meaning of that. With great love have you loved us. Wonderful niece Eunice, Bud, caring, remembering, honoring, keeping track of, keeping company, maintaining the bridge of Mom and Aunt B and Uncle Phil, Mom and B talking about life, the children, the cleaner, all their conversations about other family members. What's vision? Vision, according to one of the rabbis, has some wisdom to it of being able to see what's being born. So as Mom was able to see Josh and Daniela, Bobby and Abby, Leora, Gabe and Rose, and as we draw into our own circle of concern, Jamie and Aaron, all of those as grandchildren, people who visited her, Gabe who called her regularly on Shabbat, Friday afternoons to say, Good Shabbos, Grandma, and each with a stamp upon the community. So to be with vision is frustrating for her not to have known to appreciate that generation of great-grandchildren, Malka and Shai and Bobby and Natalie, Nomi, Sally, and Lev. They're entitled to know of her special talents and her outlook and her fun. We have those here who remember what it was as family time together as cousins, Botnick nieces and nephews of different cities, and how many people, children that were of her friends that called her Aunt Shirley, a dear title that she earned. She was a reliable friend, and with irony, she outlived many of her good friends and those of her groups, her high school group, her canasta group, her swim club group, her synagogue groups. So what is chesed? What's loving kindness, as I highlighted for us in the 23rd Psalm? What ingredients were brought to Mom? Sweet people who gave her longer life. Brenda and her daughters, Gail, Marilyn, Jackie, and irrepressible and invaluable Bruce with Melanie. Somehow or another, the staff at Myers showed her interest and appreciated her spirit because of Bruce's attentiveness to her. And not only that, Myers earned more from Bruce towards other residents there because of the way that he gave them all validation and some love. We're glad that Mom in some recent years, while older in spirit, still had fun, could flirt, could feel sexy, could be independent, could be a rebel. So how do we find comfort today? Next Shabbat, we'll be reading in the Haftarah from 2nd Isaiah. Be comforted and bring comfort. That's what we offer to one another. We'll read next Shabbat the 10 Commandments. Honor thy father and thy mother, as we honor memory of those who were departed. And laws about a Jewish home. Home, mezuzah, Jewish life, Jewish purpose. But the one thing I want us all to hold on to is how Mom, in looking at life, painted it. There were still life pictures that she had her skill and faces. And she found her own way of interpreting what she wanted to add of that loveliness. So she would want us, even on this particular sad day, to know that the world deserves to have reinterpretation for its loveliness. Every time I did Birkat HaMazon, grace after meals, I would say, Hu Yevarech Adimi Marati, Oti Veridishti. Dear God, please bless my mother, myself, my wife and family. And now I thank you for all the ways that you have brought blessing to Sarah, Bat Yehuda Hirsch, V'chaika, Zichrona Livracha. May her name, soul, and memory be for a blessing. And let us say, Amen. It says within the proverb, chapter 31, her children come forth and call her blessed. Bruce's love for Mom has taught many of us grand lessons in life and life's purpose, transmitted to his children as well. So Bruce and then nephew Rabbi Gabriel Botnick will share as well. Bruce? I'll sit next to you.
I want to thank so many people for coming today. I must give a special reach out to Brenda Dent and all her wonderful team of ladies, the staff from R.H. Myers, the Menorah Park Hospice Group. It was under their care that helped pamper her, dress her, fed her, keep her safe until she passed away. For me, losing my mom was like losing a best friend. She was a lifelong teacher for me, a booster, a role model, a great shopper, more than a spender, moreover, a spender. She loved her role in life. It was my dad who taught me how to run a business. He always said, you are only as good as your name. Deal fairly, honestly, and have integrity. Dad led by example. We embraced Judaism in our home, in our synagogue, in our community. Most of you here knew my dad's life was cut short. He still left good memories behind with those who knew him. My mother was always the glue in our house. She spent most of her day seeing to things that were made well, that the house ran smoothly. She nurtured, she taught, she punished, and spoiled me and my brother. I think I was the son who got most of the punishing. My mom would frequently tell my boys how bad I was, how I got into trouble all the time. As my boys got older, I pleaded with her to tell them the truth, finally. She said it was true. Then she smiled and said to them, your dad was a sweet, loving, caring child with occasional situations. Mom always made sure that we kept our rooms clean. Our beds were made, hospital corners on each corner. I always try to bounce quarters off the blankets, just like they do in the Army movies. I could never do it. Mom often tried to be helpful around the house. Once she used kerosene on the asphalt tile on the floor of our basement, melted away the top finish. She thought that was a way of helping to make it a better, cleaner floor. Mom bought super glue when it first came out. Guess what? She called the pawn shop downtown. My father came home later, cut my mother's thumb and first finger apart. She said she was trying to repair something. Shirley was an artist. She loved crafts and painting with oil and watercolor. Dad sold clothing downtown, but it was Mom who took us out shopping for clothes. She taught us how to take care of what we had and keep yourself clean. As a cook, not so good. Salt, pepper, seasoning was not so important. Our home was a 1950s household. Wife was well-dressed, hair and nails perfect, dinner at 8 p.m. on the table, meat and potatoes. No fish. Growing up, the only time we had fish was a TV dinner. Mac and cheese on the side, cinnamon sliced apples on the other section. Comes right out of the oven. It's perfect. Yep. McDonald's chain started in 1955, and Mom took us there for the 15-cent hamburger, fries, and Coke. We read the sign, thousands sold. Wow. We had milkshakes. They never went with hamburgers. Sanford Bleiweiss married Mom. My children were young and growing. Sandy became their loving grandfather in figure. He loved all of us as his own. He was overly generous with sound advice and often told me how to run my business better. San knew how to do almost everything in his own way, of course. My life took a huge turn about 12 years ago. By the same time, my mom and Sandy moved from Florida to Cleveland. I drove Mom to shop for clothes, pulled the items off the clothing racks, brought them to her in the changing room. We ate meals together. We traveled at times together, listened to musical programs at R.H. Myers, and of course went to the occasional doctor's appointment. At Myers, Mom would dance and sing to music there. And if the music was either too loud, boring, or poorly done, she was outspoken and would say, "That's enough! Let them stop." People found her fun to be around. My mom became my rock during some stressful times in my life. These past 12 years were priceless to me. I needed help to build a new store. Sandy said to Shirley, "You know, you can't take the money with you. Help your son." So for many years, she was my silent partner. Shirley took pride in Jeffrey and me. I promised her I would never forget how she was there for me. I would always be there for her. I did my best. She said I was her best daughter. I reassured Mom often she would never be alone. She would never feel abandoned, never feel scared, or want for anything. I kept my word. Shirley was often self-absorbed, but she loved her children, her grandchildren, and great-grandchildren. Shirley was always generous to her family. Shirley was a pretty person. In her late years, she loved to be complimented on her looks, her makeup, her lipstick, her smart clothing, and how bright her jewelry shined. So here's the plug. Where did she shop? She shopped at Robert and Gabriel Jewelers. Shirley never complained needlessly. She spoke nicely about people. She would often say, when asked, "How do you do?" "I do as I please." Shirley loved people. She had a good sense of humor. I gave her and myself pleasure in ribbing her and joking with her, her friends, and the aides. 8 years ago, next week, I married Melanie. Shirley loved her, and Melanie loved her as well. I now had two very special ladies in my life. I now have a large tear in my heart. I know my relationship with my mom was rare and very special. I want to thank you all again for allowing me to share some of my thoughts with you all. Thank God that the air conditioning is working here, and we aren't standing in potentially rain. May God bless my mother's soul. I know she'll be missed by many. Thank you.
Sweet and good spark. Great. To be here, Gabe had to be here at 5 o'clock in the morning from California.
My second Shabbat in my new shul, immediately after I had to catch a plane. I didn't know I was speaking either, so forgive me if my remarks are a bit disjointed. We read in Eicha the line Kol rodeha hisgihua ben hamitzarim. that all of Israel's pursuers caught her amongst the narrow places. But the Netivot Shalom, great contemporary Hasidic rabbi, says that we shouldn't read that as all of Israel's pursuers, but rather that all those who pursue God from the dire straits will find success in attaining that connection. And I think it's appropriate that we lost Grandma at this time, the days leading up to Tisha B'Av, which we commemorate, which we observe today. That in the narrow places, of the difficult places of pain, of loss, we're still able to attain Grandma. We're still able to reach out to her. That even in the narrow places of the last 6 years of her losing her mental facilities, there are still moments where we could reach out to Grandma and attain to her. Whether it was those moments of laughter, of humor, those moments of vanity, those moments of giving that defined who my grandmother was. She didn't really care for us much as little kids. Didn't have much time for little ones. But as we got to be a bit bigger, she had nothing but generosity to give to us. And there'd be those moments of generosity even in the later years. And even, I know, post-mortem, there will be generosity coming from her. And it was a gift to have her for 95 years. And I know that she had a gift of having my father for 66 years. He was a wonderful son. And I know, Uncle Jeff, you were a wonderful, loving son as well. And as much as you could be here, you were here. But I've learned so much from watching you, Dad. Thank you. Grandma missed you.
Part of what Shiv is about is for people to say, I never forget the times when. And so certainly for our family's observances of Shiva, that's what you'll be able to add to them. Bruce and I will be at the morning minyanim at B'nai Yeshurun at the 7:30 service. And there'll be a 7 o'clock minyan at the house each of the nights of Shiva. But there's some changes that take place because of Tisha B'Av. So one of them is different kinds of prayers and some rituals that don't happen. In addition, there is also the make-up time of hospitality. The family doesn't have any food for neither the mourners nor those people who come this afternoon, because it's the fast day of Tisha B'Av. So therefore, you make your own decisions after the 7 o'clock service tonight, what you seek to do. Be honored to have Cantor Schiffman chanting for us the substitute prayer, Elo Aslichot, instead of Molei Rachamim. Those who are able to rise, please.
Eloha selichot, chanun v'rachum, Erech apayim v'rav chesed, המצא כפר הפשע והקרבת ישע ומנוחה נכונה תחת כנפי השכינה במעלות קדושים וטהורים כזוהר כי המזהירים את נשמת שרה בת יהודה השבחיה שהלכה לעולמה שהלכה לעולמה אנא בעל הרחמים זכרה לה לטובה כל זכויותיה וצדקותיה בארצות החיים ופתח לה שערי צדק ויורה שערי חמלה וחנינה בסתר כנפיך הסתיריה לעולמים וצרו בצורו לחיים ונשמתם אדוני הוא נחלתם ותנוח בשלום על מי שקווה ונאמר Amen.
O God, exalted, full of compassion, grant perfect peace, your sheltering presence among the holy and pure. The soul of Sarah Bat Yehuda Hirsch, Bechaika, Mom, Shirley Bleiweiss, who has gone to her eternal home. Master of mercy, we beseech you, remember, help us always to remember worthy, righteous, inspiring, spunky deeds that she performed while yet in the land of the living. May her soul be bound up in the bond of life with us, the living. The Lord is her portion. May she rest in peace, and let us say, Amen. Amen. There are some of us who are choosing to participate in ways of memorializing. There is the Shirley and Lawrence Botnick Scholarship Fund of the B'nai Yeshurun congregation. The Menorah Park Hospice that added kavod, dignity, compassion, and insight for our family. And Beth Torah congregation where we affiliate. There are those people who are pallbearers and honorary pallbearers that are drawn forward at this time. Family's appreciation to Berkowitz-Kumin-Bookatz for his guidance and compassion.